Tonight we're going to talk about approval, acceptance, and authenticity. And yes, the screen is black. I do my lives in the dark. It's symbolic for many things, but one, this is how I like it and it works the best for me. Two, it symbolizes the great cosmic womb, the unknown, the emptiness, the limitless potential where everything comes from, and feminine energy. And three, it's more mysterious and fun, so why not? So, approval, acceptance, authenticity. How do these things go together and how do they not? Uh, the old matrix that we're coming out of, and matrix considered like a belief system that people maintain, a belief system set of rules. Um, it's not like a trap or anything, it's just beliefs that we have actually agreed to, whether knowingly or unknowingly, consciously or unconsciously. So the old matrix is more unconscious, uh, and in the unconscious 3D matrix, we have put like we have this hierarchy, and God is like somewhere above, and there's this idea of hell below, and there's us, and there are these authority figures, beginning with your parents, and then teachers, and employers, politicians, people that are above you in some hierarchical way. And we're always seeking for approval and validation. And it's normal when you're little, to try to fit in just so you could be accepted from the herd and you'll be taken care of and provided for. And we also do that when we're teenagers. And it's like, oh, like I'm trying to figure out who am I, and I'm uncomfortable standing on my own, so I'll try to fit in here and fit in there. But the natural thing as we grow older would be to actually start individuating, to use Jung's term, and to start to become unique individuals where we have that understanding that we're all one, we're one consciousness experiencing itself in many different forms. But the whole purpose of this whole art school, and the whole idea of, source splitting itself in all of these forms, is for these forms to be unique. And we see that in nature. In nature, nothing is the same. We can have the two tulips, but they will not be exactly the same. And then we have all the other varieties of flowers and plants and animals. You can have two cats, like my cats are brothers, and they're from the same litter, but they have completely different personalities. And my cat Francois, he's definitely more evolved and he knows how to give and receive love, and he's calm and has a secure attachment style. Whereas his brother always looks up to Francois like, what is he supposed to do? He's more afraid and he has anxious attachment style. And the coolest thing is that since I've had them almost 8 years, wow, um, they've actually been growing in consciousness alongside with me. And Remy has been learning how to give and receive love and how to be calmer, which is really beautiful to see him evolve like this. And Francois is even more loving, and we have a beautiful bond, like the two of them and me with them, and it's just wonderful to see. But my point was that they're from the same litter, yet they're very different personalities, apart from the fact that they have different colors as well. So if we don't start to undergo the process of individuation, if we're afraid to be our full selves, we're constantly looking for to the outside for approval and validation, and doing things for the approval and validation, and compromising ourselves. And every time we say yes when we want to say no, every time we laugh at something that we don't think it's funny, Every time we neglect our own needs in front of somebody else's that for whatever reason we think we need to please so they can like us and that's going to make us feel better, we betray ourselves, we lose our sense of self respect, and we lose the ability to love ourselves. And when we cannot love ourselves, we cannot love anybody else. So relationships become codependent and transactional. And this is the whole thing that we're getting out of, and that's where authenticity comes into play. When we learn how to be authentic and to communicate our needs and desires in a respectful way, to have good boundaries, to honor and value ourselves, and before we agree to anything, to ask ourselves, how do I feel about this? What do I think? Do I feel like doing this thing? Do I feel like agreeing to this? Do I feel like what this person is saying is true? Do I want to participate in that? And when we pause, check in with ourselves, and then respond from that inner knowing, then we start to go in the direction of authenticity, where we go within first to seek for our own validation and approval, our own authentic yes or no, our own authentic thought, do I agree with this statement and think whatever or no? And then from that space of inner knowing, we respond. And even if our response is not what the other person wants to hear, we're okay and we feel safe to be in our truth. And it takes a lot to get there because throughout history, there's instance after instance after instance after instance where an authoritative figure has abused its authority, and when somebody considered to be under them, whether it's a child or a woman or a man that is in a different position, has said no to something where that authoritative figure wanted the answer to be a yes, the authoritative figure goes off with their head. Literally or figuratively, and it can get you fired for speaking your truth, can make your life miserable for speaking your truth, can twist your truth, can actually physically torture you, can actually really murder you. Why? Because of emotional immaturity. Because some people have not learned to accept no for an answer, and that they can't always get their own way. And yeah, some people are that selfish. But the good thing is that we are shifting in a different time where hopefully we're emotionally mature enough to respect one another. And even if the other person has a huge emotional reaction to your authentic response, then you decide whether you want to keep a person like that in your life or not. And the more we stick to our authenticity, and we have those, we're not afraid of a little conflict here and there or a big conflict here and there. And if the other person cannot accept our truth, uh, if we're okay with that relationship dissolving, we gain more self respect and self love, uh, because we begin to love and approve and appreciate ourselves and our own opinions, and we become our inner authority. And that is the whole point and the shift of the third to the fifth dimension. Hi, Tony. Um, where we can take that responsibility of being our own authority and trust our intuition and trust our inner voice and go and follow our own dreams. And then we begin to understand that although it seems that, we're put in these positions and I could be somebody's child and technically my parents should know better, But I appreciate it too, Tony. Uh, then we realize that we're actually on a different soul journey, and our souls are at different stages. So some of us are older souls that are more advanced, and the reasons why we're here are different than some younger souls, and the way we see things is different, and the things that are important for us are different. So we may not be pursuing the same things as anybody else, and it's important to be able to be firmly grounded in our truth and be able to calmly explain it to other people, and even if it makes them question their own, uh, to be okay with being different, and to be okay with challenging other people's paradigms, and also to be okay when they challenge our own, and to agree to disagree and to hold different beliefs, or also to be willing to shift one's own perspective based on the perspective shared by the other. And when we approach a life with curiosity rather than fear, and instead of comparison and competition, we move into cooperation uh, and togetherness. Then life becomes a lot more interesting because we start to learn more from one another, and to appreciate and respect and accept our differences. And when you appreciate, accept, respect your own self, and approve of yourself, then you can be in your fullness and share that, and appreciate and respect and accept other people in their fullness, even if their fullness looks very different from your fullness. But by meeting each other, you become more full, because there's something from their fullness that you're like, oh, yeah, I like that. I'm going to cultivate this seed inside, and then they can do the same. And life becomes so much more enriching. So instead of chipping away at one another and diminishing ourselves to scrape some appreciation and approval from the outside, we show up with a full cup because we appreciate and approve ourselves, and we have accepted our darkness, and we're not afraid to shine our light bright, and then we can enrich others in this way. And even if there's some parts in themselves that they're dimming and hiding, we can shed a light to those parts. And if there are parts that this person is not ready to integrate yet, or parts that they have been conditioned to feel ashamed of, maybe their reaction is not going to be the best as to your authenticity, and they'll project some stuff on you. But when you're aware of what's going on, it's okay, and you can give them some space and time to process. Whereas if they're a little bit more emotionally mature and wanting to learn and grow, when you eliminate those parts of themselves with your light, they'll be willing to lovingly bring them up to the light and accept them, and thus come into more wholeness. So this is the shift that we're moving towards, of this taking time to really learn to love, appreciate, and accept ourselves and our uniqueness, and realize that it's normal to be different. To be different is the normal thing. Normality is not being the same as everybody else. Normality is being different, but yet being able to coexist with others. And when we're curious about our differences and we accept and appreciate them, we can work together as one cohesive whole, in the same way that the human body is comprised of a lot of different organs and systems that are comprised of different cells that perform different functions. But all of these organs and systems function together and comprise a whole that we call the body. And it's the same, the quote in the Bible, the body of Christ. Humanity is one entity comprised of a lot of different parts. And when we understand that we're supposed to work together as one human family, and when we begin to move into that authenticity, every little cell, every can find, like, oh wait, I'm here at this organ, and I was thinking I need to fit in over here, but I totally don't fit in. And we undergo the ugly duckling journey, and then we find, oh wait, actually I belong to this organ right here, and these cells over here are like me. So it's no longer based on blood and who your family is, and you need to be like them, but it's based on soul and frequency and alignment, and you find your soul family, and that's where you fit in. And that's the fifth dimension, those little shifts that happen, and the recognition that there's so much more, and we're so much more. And with the internet, we have this ability to connect and find our soul tribe and find resonance. And if we're not finding it, that means we're supposed to create it. So we can start by sharing our authentic selves, and then other people who are in that frequency can join us and find that resonance and allow what is not them, actually the parts of themselves that they've been suppressing and hiding to fit in somewhere else, allow those parts to fall away, and they can feel like, oh yeah, I can be my authentic self, I belong here. And it's really beautiful to see how everything is rearranging, and how we're finding one another and finding that resonance and vibrating at our authentic core frequency and essence, and coming together, uh, falling apart to come together better, first internally, and then uh, the outside matches that. And that's why a lot of structures are falling apart now, because they were based on beliefs that are obsolete. And at the same time, new structures are being built, sustaining the new earth, and they have been being built for a long time, but now they're becoming obvious and coming into view because they're needed. So everything is working really smoothly and cohesively. And the sum total is turn within, love, appreciate yourself, embrace all parts of you, embrace your uniqueness. Don't be afraid to shine your light bright and be your authentic self to the fullest, quirks and all. And align with your soul tribe, and enjoy life.